PTL Pro represents the AI in Agriculture podcast where technology shapes the future of farming.
Ever imagine, walking through a cotton field?
Yeah.
Peaceful, right? But for farmers, managing those cotton plants, it's a whole other story.
Yeah, it's serious business.
Today's deep dive, we're going right into those fields to see how AI is, changing the game.
It's amazing how AI is getting into these really specific areas. We always think self-driving cars, robots talking to us. But sometimes the coolest stuff is happening on a much smaller scale.
And in this case, it's about robots, but more like giving them better vision. We're looking at this new AI. It's called Bud-YOLO.
Tetchy name, right?
Definitely caught my eye.
Well, there's a good reason for it. This AI is tackling a really specific problem for cotton farmers. Finding those tiny buds that need to be topped.
Okay, before we get too far, can you explain this whole topping thing? What's the deal with pinching off the top of the plant?
So picture a cotton plant, like, say, a water pipe. The top bud, it's like a spigot, channeling all the plant's energy upwards.
Okay, I'm with you.
Topping, basically pinching that bud off, it redirects that energy to grow more cotton bolls.
Got it. And those bolls are where the actual cotton fibers come from.
Exactly.
But going through a field and doing that by hand, that'd take forever.
Got it. Traditionally, super labor intensive.
No.
Done by hand, or they'd use chemicals, but
Yeah, I was excited.
both have downsides. Manual labor, it's slow, expensive. Chemicals, whole other set of problems for the environment.
And this is where our robot friends come in. But how do you even teach a machine to, spot a tiny bud on a plant? Seems tricky.
It's not easy. You can't just let a robot loose. It needs to actually see the buds. And that's where Bud-YOLO comes in. It's all about identifying those cotton buds in real time, which is key for robots working in, a constantly changing field.
So Bud-YOLO is giving the robots a serious vision upgrade.
Exactly. And the cool part is it builds on what's already out there, but with some really smart changes. It's based on the system you'll love to DNet.
Okay, I gotta admit, these acronyms always take me back to engineering class. Can we break that down a bit?
Of course. Think of YOLOV 8 as a car engine, a basic one. Gets the job done, but could be better. These researchers, they swapped out a part, this CSPPC module, streamlining the design, making it more efficient.
So less wasted effort, basically.
Yeah, that makes Bud-YOLO faster, lighter, but just as accurate.
Okay, so we've got this, super efficient AI engine ready to go. But how does it actually learn to, pick out these cotton buds?
That's where it gets really interesting. So on top of making the model more efficient, they added this thing called an Efficient RepGFPN.
Okay.
Imagine the AI is looking at a giant jigsaw puzzle, right?
Right.
The RepGFPN is it's like having the picture on the box.
Yeah.
It helps the AI put those pieces together. It connects the whole structure of the plant to where those tiny buds are.
So it's not just seeing, shapes and colors. It's understanding how it all fits together.
Exactly. Kind of how our brains work, seeing patterns, making connections.
Right, right.
But there's one more piece to this. How does the AI actually learn which pieces are the buds?
Right, because it doesn't just, know this stuff automatically. It needs some training, right?
Absolutely. Think of it like teaching someone to play baseball. You wouldn't just hand them a bat and ball and say, go hit a home run.
Right. Need to practice.
Exactly. Practice, feedback, coaching.
So how do we coach our AI to be a, cotton bud identifying champion?
But use something called an Inner CIoU loss function. And this function, it's like a really precise coach, watches every swing, gives instant feedback on how to adjust.
So instead of just strike or ball, it's getting really detailed feedback.
Exactly. Imagine you're trying to draw a box around something,
Right.
but, with your eyes closed.
Okay, yeah.
This function is like someone saying, a little to the left, make the box smaller, guiding you closer each time.
And the target is the cotton bud. The more it practices, the better it gets at, drawing that box perfectly.
Exactly. And that's what they found. They tested Bud-YOLO against, the best models out there. The results were really something.
Okay, I gotta know, how did our little AI do?
Bud-YOLO, it beat them all consistently. Way more accurate at finding those buds.
Wow, that's impressive. But the real world is messy, right? What about shadows, weird angles, buds that are hidden?
And that's the really cool part. Bud-YOLO, it adapted, kept its accuracy, even with tricky lighting, different angles, you name it.
That's huge. We're not talking about a lab here. This is a real field. This AI seems almost too good to be true.
It shows you the power of these little improvements, small tweaks leading to big changes in how well it works, how adaptable it is.
This is really making me rethink AI. We hear about the big stuff, but this is so much more, tangible. impactful.
You're right. And it's this kind of innovation that's going to like completely change how we do agriculture.
So we've got these like super precise robots. They've got Bud-YOLO ready to, I don't know, take over cotton farming. But this feels bigger, right?
Oh, getting at it. What's exciting is this isn't just about cotton. It's like a peek into the future of like all of agriculture, how we grow food, manage resources, everything.
It's giving farmers what? A whole new set of tools, ones they couldn't even dream of a few years ago. What else could this AI do? I mean, what's next?
Imagine every single plant being watched by AI, getting exactly what it needs, when it needs it. That's what we're talking about. AI that can, say, spot a disease before you can even see it, analyzing the soil, like down to the tiniest detail, even predicting the weather, but like super locally, to know exactly when to water and harvest.
That's wild, giving farmers like superpowers or something. They'd know exactly what to do all the time.
Exactly. And it's not just about, growing more, though that's obviously huge. This kind of precision, it could mean using way less pesticides, less water. Farming becomes more sustainable, more environmentally friendly.
It's crazy how something so small like seeing a cotton bud can have such a massive impact. It's like you said, focusing on the specifics, that's where the magic happens.
Exactly. These really focused solutions, they're the ones that often lead to the biggest changes. And it goes beyond agriculture, too. This ability to find and understand tiny details, it could change everything. Healthcare, how things are made, security, anything you can think of.
It really gets you thinking, what can't we do with this tech? What seems impossible now but will be normal in a few years, it feels like we're just getting started.
And that's what's so amazing about AI right now. We're surrounded by these breakthroughs, and each one is a step toward a future we can barely imagine.
So to everyone listening, think about this. If AI can master something as intricate as spotting a tiny bud in a huge field, what else is it capable of? The possibilities, they really are endless.